Are we live? I think we're live. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Okay, so last time I went live on one of these things, I totally forgot to tell everybody. My audio just went off. I totally forgot to tell everybody that that it was going to be um, the daylight savings time. So apologies, apologies. See, I can still do some things while being blast last, but just not all things while being blast last. So sorry about that. I feel like, you know what? I feel like on the website, I need to have some kind of like news page to say what's coming up next. Feels like something like that's missing. Something like that. You know what I mean? Okay, let's see. How are you guys doing? Am I live? Can you see me? Can you hear me? I'll wait till you guys filter in and then I'll just yodel during that time. Yodel. Let's see. Mino! Hola! Hola, ¿cómo estás? What's up? What's up? Yes, yes. YouTube auto corrected to the correct time. Nice. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good. I just felt bad because I could tell like people were not aware. I don't know if it's yeah, I don't know if it's like around the world people weren't aware that the US did their thing, but I certainly know. Yeah. How have I been? Thanks for asking. Hey, Dawson, how are you doing? This week it's been freaking nuts. Can I just tell you, if I got typed this week by Dave and Shan, you know, those weird people, if I got typed, there's no way I would have agreed that I am not an observer because I'm doing taxes. I'm doing taxes. And there's just no way I would be like, this is the bane of my existence. I hate everything and everyone because of taxes and I want to die. And is it that big of a deal? No, it's not. But I just, ugh, and it just overwhelms me and I really hate it. So, do you guys hate taxes? Does anybody hate? It's like an FI question. Anybody out there also hate taxes? I hate taxes. So I'm dealing with that. And fun fact, yeah, taxes. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Nina. Thank you. Your and my FI agrees. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, makeup tutorial. I will definitely do that someday once I am done with taxes. My life is like on hold right now. Also, literally, I had to drive back, just a casual 10 hours. I had to drive to the trauma house. You guys know, if you've been following along, we're now on episode 6 of my trauma. If you've been following along, I had to drive the 10 hours back to the trauma house, wrap up everything, you know, patch holes, clean up, give it back to the landlord, and then drive 10 hours back. Little stressful, and then also have to do taxes. So, thanks for asking how I've been. I think you guys need to know all the SE. You need to know all the SE. That's how I've been. So, I'm doing good. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I'm very happy, very positive, but the taxes definitely adds an extra layer of I hate everything. I hate everything on this planet. So once that's done, which every year I complain about it and every year I freak out about it, once that's done, I will be back to normal and I will be fine. So, well, thanks for asking. It is stressful. It's crazy stressful. Okay, are you guys doing good? You ready? You ready for Emma Chamberlain? Do you guys have any guesses ahead of time? Do you want to put in some bets? Do you guys want to put in some bets? Let's do some bets ahead of time. Okay, let's do some bets. Emma Chamberlain, we did in the class. So we've done her many moons ago. I don't even remember how long ago we did. But she was a really great, just an amazing, cutie patootie, wonderful little person. So just somebody that is very successful on YouTube. If you guys are not aware of Emma, but do go back and see if you can watch that class. Kind of, you know. Oh, good. There you go, Martin. Good job. So we've got some predictions already. Abby, hi. How are you? It's good seeing you. So yeah, let's do some predictions ahead of time, and then we can kind of go over stuff. I'm going to go over two clips. I'll first talk about why I chose the first clip, and just kind of get into if you guys are looking up for socials, if you're going to try and figure out either your own socials or some other celebrity socials, some things to kind of look for. And in this one specifically, I'm going to use actually, let me kind of do this. I'm using this clip from, let's see, what are these guys called? Colin and Let me actually get their names. Let me just hit play so I can see what their names are. Hit play. What is it? Do you guys know these guys? Samir. Oh yeah, Colin and Samir. There you go. So these guys like to talk about business a lot. So you're going to get like a pretty good socials topics. Like there should be good socials topics, because if they're asking about business or they're asking about success on YouTube, there should be topics about like, how do you manage money? How do you manage those kinds of things? Like what do you do for success? Oh, let me do this typical one. I know that the tribe likes to get one of these like, hey, sorry, I was doing the wrong time. What type is this person? Okay, there you go. There you go. Oh no, wait, it's the end. It's the end once they already have the type. Okay, we'll go through that at the end. I'll give the snapshot for that. So yes, we're doing Emma. But yeah, back to this. I definitely see that if you can look for stuff that why is this not working? Before presenting a screen, remove the okay, weird. Yeah, so it's definitely a game where you're going to try and specifically find videos that are in that category. Yes, you could just wait, you can definitely wait for it, but if you're trying to really like NI it ahead of time, like, okay, I need to go look for somebody talking about money. What is their view on money? What is their view on success? What is their view on the entire pathway of how they got there? Their entire like trajectory. Did you pre-plan this? Did you pre-drive this? Did you have the drive? Do you have this mission? Do you have all that kind of stuff? If you can look for topics like that, it's huge. It's huge. It gives you more of a consensus of like, all right, let me go straight after this. So in looking at this particular video, I'm gonna actually jump over here. There is, I think I love these ones that have like topics on them. So this one had a section here. Yeah, her relationship with money. Like I was like, okay, let me jump in right there. Let me actually, because you could go through all of these, like acting. I mean, maybe she'll give you some nuggets there, possibly. Video podcasting, maybe she'll give you some nuggets there. This might just be more like, are you a specialist or not? But some of these are not that great. And this one is probably going to be better, this relationship with money game. So if we can go straight to that and hear what her relationship with money is, it might help us out. So let's start there. Let's start there. Okay, ready? Are you guys ready? Are you all ready? Let's go.
How can I bring more than just an introduction to my audience?
Yes, but baseline, it needs to be like, this is a brand that I think is cool. Yeah. And like how
much has that changed over the years? Like, I'm very curious about your relationship with money.
There we go.
And the reason why is, so I'm a Michael Chamberlain YouTube viewer.
Yes.
I watch his YouTube channel.
Yes.
That's your dad.
Yes.
And I've heard you talk about your dad before, your relationship with your dad. And I think about growing up the kid of an artist and the viewpoint on creative work. And then the incredible complexity to commercializing creative work and monetizing creative work. And then that paired with a potential feeling of like an absence of money or scarcity of money.
Sounds more like
to then in abundance. Like that is a lot of transformation and a lot of different things going on.
Mm-hmm.
What was that journey for you like from
umbrella,
growing up with your dad being an artist to then monetizing your craft at the scale that you've done it?
Actually, let me just pause for a second, because I don't know for sure, but my guess is that he might actually be some kind of two. He's talking about things in a generalist way, and he's weirded out by this, like, not weirded out, but like he's got energy around like, hey, there's this game of like artist versus commercializing something, and the whole game of commercializing something. So how do you feel about this? Like what do you got going on there? So that's something to process. Ooh, good point. I know she has multiple businesses: Chamberlain Coffee, Red Carpet Interviews, podcast, YouTube. Could that be generalized? Good question. Remember last time when we did Snoop Dogg? So you also have to kind of keep in mind, are they actually doing generalizing, or are they focusing on products, on the experience? Those are some things that we would have to kind of keep in mind. So that's good. That's a good point. Let's keep that in mind when we try and figure out and suss out and understand the difference between generalizing and specializing. Money gives me freedom. That is definitely the generalist way. I hear you, Abby. I hear you. Okay, cool. Let's go back to this and just keep listening. So now we have his perspective, right? We have his perspective where he's like, hey, there's this weird thing of artists versus, commercializing. Let's hear what she has to say.
It has been such a fascinating, I'm glad, I don't know if I've ever, I don't remember. I'm excited to get into this.
I'm excited.
Growing up, I felt.
By the way, she's blast last. I forgot to like pre-warn everyone. She is like blast last on top of blast last on top of blast last. So you're gonna hear that. You're gonna hear that in the interview. The pausing and the like, okay, talk. So yeah, just pre-warned. Pre-warned. She's fabulous, but you know, blast last.
I grew up around a lot of wealthy kids.
Wealthy kids.
You know, a lot of kids who have parents that work in technology.
Others?
I grew up in the Silicon Valley. A lot of money.
Money.
I'm the child of an artist and in a single mom. Very different situation.
Different.
And I was so jealous. I mean, so deeply jealous. I also saw myself as less, very much so, because I was not up to speed with the other kids. In retrospect, I had such a fortunate childhood. It's unfortunate that, you know, my environment didn't allow me to see that. Again, when you're like 12 years old, how can you, I can't be mad at myself. How was I supposed to sort that out?
How was I supposed to know?
It's interesting.
That's sort of an observer.
The second I started making my own money on YouTube, which was something that I didn't expect, by the way. I
didn't expect it.
Turned on AdSense because I was like, obviously, like
just like slapping it out, like obviously just accidentally doing shit. Like, okay, I just, you know, just turned on AdSense. Like what? Just turned it on. Obviously. Oops. It's just, oops. Like, wait, you didn't have some like epic plan of like, okay, this comes to this, comes to this, comes to this, comes to this. Like I have Demon NI. In fact, she has more activation on her NI than I do because she's consumed sleep. Okay, so why out of the two of us? Oh, you could say that I have that function second, so maybe it's hitting because it's higher up in my function stack. That is a thing. Still though, a double observer. Still though, she's not planning stuff. Why? Like even my brain is like, I don't know. Even the way that I see like trajectory, it feels like it directly attaches to my NI. Where I'm like, this goes to this, goes to this, goes to this, goes to this. Da, 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 da. Like obviously there's a plan here. That one AdSense goes right here. Why not? Why is there no directional goal? What's up with that? What's up with that?
Maybe I'll make $200 one day over the course of the next 6 months. I think it's like $200 and then you can cash it out, right? I don't know.
I don't remember. We took a really long time to turn on AdSense because we were very inspired by Casey Neistat. And
yes.
We thought it was like a brand power move.
Didn't have AdSense on for like his first 100 million views. And we're like, that's cool. We're not going to turn on
I remember that too.
But so his was just like,
they were doing it on purpose because they're following cool guy Casey Neistat. That's why they sound more like twos, like not necessarily getting their direction from their number one a-hole self. I'm going to get it through cool guy Casey. You know, but it's still a choice. There's a drive choice. There's a directional choice, which it seems like the twos are more doing, where they'll follow other people, but they'll follow people that are going and heading in a direction that they want to go. They still connect to others and still do things because of others, but it's a directional choice. I'll choose cool guy, the branding of Casey Neistat, still more in the number two realm.
He he just didn't do it. And we thought that was so cool. That
I know.
Like,
cool. We took the wrong cue.
We're not going to monetize. yeah. And then we just like struggled.
I know. So AdSense is like, I mean, in the beginning, before you can make a living off of AdSense before you do brand deals. That's what I did for so long. I didn't take brand deals for a very, very long time. I was very against it at first, actually.
Why?
And I mean, I started making money on AdSense quicker than I anticipated. You know, it just happened so fast. And it was my first time making money. And very quickly, by age 17, I was able to move out on my own dime. And I suddenly had financial freedom. I could go and buy myself things if I wanted. But I was...
Financial freedom.
I realized very, very quickly
every general stream
that it did not improve my life. And in
there
fact,
we go. Okay, let me pause for a second so I can actually write this out. Financial freedom at 17, like that's the ultimate dream. I mean, you know, you could say that a generalist could still get financial freedom and be like, wait, that didn't solve all of my problems either. But financial freedom didn't solve or, you know, I should say it didn't improve my life. Like, I don't care what you say. Like, for me as a generalist, like, that gives me the ability to go back around and do the like hobby specializing. Like, oh my gosh, I get to just sit around and paint, or sit around and, well, not sit around, but travel. Like, I get to go then do the number 4 stuff once I get that financial freedom. Oh my God, that's amazing. She gets financial freedom. And she's like, meh, didn't improve my life. This didn't improve my life. I was already doing the stuff I wanted to do before this money. So I'm fine. That's so backwards to me, but also very interesting. All right, let's hear her keep going.
The amount of money that my family had growing up was enough to be happy because I had all of the things that I needed. I had everything I needed for school. I had a roof over my head. I had food. I had multiple options in my closet.
That's all.
Like, it was like I had a great everything. I had it already because I did research on this later down the line, and like,
nice.
Money only makes you happy to a point. I was already at that point growing up. I had no idea.
Typically represents something. Like, the desire for money represents something.
Look, now he's going to have a slightly different perspective.
And we rarely develop the relationship with the term enough. Basically never, right?
So look at, he's like, what?
I actually don't even know if I've told you this, but 2 weeks ago, I stopped at a gas station to get gas, and I walked in because like the thing was broken, and I bought 3 lottery tickets. And I've never bought a lottery ticket in my life.
No.
Why?
And I bought 3 of the like Powerball ones where like the prize was like $1 billion.
It was at $1 billion.
It was $1 billion.
It was unbelievable. I saw that.
It was a night where I was just feeling stressed. And like, the reality is, and I've written about this, I'm a big like journaler, and I've written about this concept of buying a lottery ticket when you've already won the lottery, right? Like, where I have my dream job, I have an amazing wife, I have a great family, like I feel.
Okay, so I did all the things, and then I'm going to go back around and do the number 4 thing, because the lottery ticket thing is pretty symbolic of like luck. And if I can just play the game of like gather this thing up, then I don't have to worry about building some kind of structural thing that comes with generalizing. Generalizing is the game of the structure, it's the game of the systematizing. So the hobby, the ideal, the love, or the grass is greener for the generalist is like, what if I could just go, you know, fine. I do all this stuff where I'm doing the generalizing. I'm doing this, like, taking care of my shit. I'm making the money. I'm doing whatever it takes in the specializing realm or in the generalizing realm. Then I get to come back around and sort of have freedom. That's the kind of feeling that the generalists have. So very interesting that he's fantasizing about or you know, idealizing that game.
Feel so grateful, but I went out and bought a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, but I get it.
There's a level of escapism to what you connect to this large sum of money. And then to bring that back to like being a YouTube creator, I think what's interesting is like you have your foot on the gas pedal, right? Like you can, it's not chance. Every day you have the option to get more of it. And I think that is again, that is something that can haunt you if you don't have a relationship. Like, how quickly did you recognize that you had enough?
It was almost instant, if I'm being honest.
There you go.
It was very fast.
Yeah.
And
do you remember the first like AdSense check you got that you were like, oh shit, that's like, do you remember the amount?
Oh, that's such a good question. I mean, I think, you know,
she's like
cashing out my first one ever, which was maybe like $200 was crazy. But I think once I hit, I don't know, my parents were beside, they could not believe their eyes when it was 10 grand in a month.
I mean, that's crazy.
They were like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, I don't know. And I say the F word in my videos. So how the hell, I don't like.
And I didn't really talk to anyone about it. It's just there.
They just sent it to me.
That was when they were like, okay,
I don't have any,
something's happening. They were like,
you're 17 at the time? Or?
I think 16 at that point.
For any purpose.
That's crazy.
For this.
And it was
not like a drive purpose.
Or maybe that one was at 17, but it was definitely.
So not.
I mean, again, my dad is an artist. He
back to
doesn't need a lot of money. He doesn't care about making a lot of money.
Right. And
he cares about creatively fulfilling himself and also living a good life.
Himself.
Yeah.
So having time.
Look at that. So look at how you can sense it too in the slight wordings of things. Like, he cares about creatively fulfilling himself. that is the words of a specialist. It's not demonizing it, you know, it's positive. It's positive talk about the specializing. Artist in this situation, we're going to insert artist for specializing because it is very, very much like a craft kind of thing. Artist. So creatively fulfilling himself and also living a good life. If we were to really kind of pull that out, it's like, that sounds like for territory where you're like, my version of success, because all of us as different socials have different versions of success. So we might use the same word, we might say success, but it's going to mean something very different to me than it will to you, than it will to you, than it will to you. And that's kind of really critical to know about ourselves, is like, if I'm a 4, that doesn't mean I could make a ton of money and get what the number 1 or the number 2 would want and feel successful. I will still feel unsuccessful. And you'll still think that people have something more than you have because they will feel successful. And it's just that you have completely different versions of success, you know, and the 4s have this different version of success of like, gosh, if I could just be an artist and then live a good life and be happy around family and culture and getting to do something that I'm, you know, crafting and mastering in myself, that's success. So you have to be really careful. It's like, oh, you're really successful because you make money. Says who? That's just one man's version of success.
Outside of work to go and live a fulfilling life, right?
Fulfilling life.
And we have such a great relationship because he had the time to develop that with me. A lot of my friends, their parents worked so much. That's how they made so much money. They didn't have deep connections with their parents. I did. It was it all happened very fast where I realized, okay.
Time to hang out with family.
It's not about like money's not going to do it. Money's not going to do it. I've already reached a point where I'm comfortable. I already I'm comfortable enough where it's not going to, I don't know. But yeah, it was pretty immediate.
Time wealth is a thing that comes, you know, it's interesting because for me, that concept has come a lot more now after I feel like I've achieved the internal validation of making money. You know, like that was something that was absent from our creative journey.
Yeah. See, as a 2, he's like, I need to be able to believe in myself to be able to make my own income. And therefore that is what is successful to me. As a 2, I need to be able to rely fully on myself. That's success. And then the other stuff can come later. That stuff is okay later. But I need to know I can rely on my own self. By the way, the 2s being contradictory in their type still need to connect their motivation to others. So it's a very contradictory type because they're like self-reliant. Also, what is this guy doing? What is this guy doing? What is this guy doing? What is this guy doing for like to hijack drive? So it's an interesting one, but his version of success is going to be different than her version of success.
For years, right? Money was not abundant for us. It was like, if we could make $800, we would do whatever it took to do that, right? Out of our creativity. But as it started to, you know, become more abundant, and even like the understanding of how to make it, you know, then you reestablish a relationship. And I think even just going back to buying that lottery ticket, which I didn't win, unfortunately. Yeah,
right.
I actually
had a feeling, but I didn't want to say that. But
the winning ticket was sold in California, in Kern County.
That's exciting enough.
Yeah, which felt unfortunately just like a signal that wealth.
Let me skip.
You know, like money wealth is great, but you assume that those two things are connected.
Yeah.
Right. You assume that like if I make a ton more money, then I'll have a ton more time. I think, but those are not directly connected. That's like a choice that you have to make of what's your value system from. Okay, if I make this money, then what do I want more of it? And maybe our YouTube brains teach us to look at numbers in a way that they should always be going up, right?
Oh yeah.
Of course, it's like we are trained with these quantifiable metrics next to our success. There's 2 of them. We look at numbers on a screen all day. One is our viewership and subscribership, and the other is our bank account or balance or whatever money is coming in. And those are just numbers on a screen. From the video game mindset of all this, it's like I just want. It's more fun when those go up.
Well, can I tell you something that's insane?
Okay, so she's now going to tell something insane. So it's probably going to be observer and also possibly down the category of her socializing. So what is insane?
I actually think that some people are going to tell me that this is very irresponsible because people could be stealing from me.
Probably an observer thing.
I have an infrastructure in place in my life.
Infrastructure.
With a lot of checks and balances.
Okay, so there is OI in my life with checks and balances.
That allows me to never check my bank account. I have no idea how much money I have.
Stop it. Stop it. Okay, so I have OI. I have OI somewhere in my life. There's this magical OI thing in damn. I don't even have to look at my bank account. This is single observing and also not a one. Like, this is not one, the amount of responsibility I have for the finances. I'm the one doing the taxes. Oh, yeah, she does it too. Thank you, Tamara. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, you're not doing your taxes. I bet. Gosh, what a wonderful life. Gosh. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. What in the Observer? Fuck off. Let's see. Who else did I hear? Was it Dane Cook? It was Dane Cook who like had a manager and like stole all of his money. Like, careful about not checking your bank account. Okay. There's my double Observer warning for a second there. Okay, let's listen to what she said. Let's then stop after that and then we'll process. Okay, let's listen to the rest of this because I was like, what is happening?
I know what I can do and what I can't do.
Okay.
But I have no idea. And I have not looked in
stressful
years. I have no idea.
Wow.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It's safe.
It is.
I mean, technically, literally, I could be being stolen from. No, nobody.
Yeah.
No, it's not that because there's literally layers in layers in layers in layers in layers in layers.
False NI, sis. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. It's absolutely false NI. If you're not the one looking at your known information, that is absolutely a lie that your brain is saying, I don't have to go in that dark closet. Go in the dark closet. Gosh, how much anxiety is that causing in her life? Because you know it's causing anxiety. It's gotta cause anxiety. Because the way she's treating it, like, this is pretty big and I know it. Like, damn, okay. But then the brain like reasons it away. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's like, no, go look at your damn bank account, sis. I'm so stressed for you. Okay, I'm sorry.
There's of checks and balances, people in my family that are not like my mom has her eyes, but then also my business manager, but then also like there's so many people that are.
I think we have the same infrastructure.
Yes.
Right.
But I have like, there's family ties in there that I trust too. It's
good.
like, there's so many layers so that I never have to look because number one, because I don't want to make, number one, I don't want to know.
I don't want to know. Why?
I don't need to.
Why?
I don't need anything beyond what I have now.
Okay.
Like I have a house. I have a car.
I don't want to know.
I can travel
don't need anything freely. Wow.
That's enough. I don't need to go buy a yacht and a private jet and a helicopter.
I don't need the flexy shit.
I don't need to only own designer clothing. And I don't need
the flex.
I don't want to know how much because I want to feel like I'm very frugal. Like I am very thoughtful about, like my house is my splurge. That is the splurge of my life. Like that's it.
I don't need
but like,
shit.
I don't know. It can be easy to see like, oh, well, this money's just sitting here. Let's put it to work.
Why not one helicopter?
But it's like, I don't want the money to give me ideas. Does that make sense? Like,
really
do you see what I'm saying? So it's, I
don't want the money to give me ideas.
I'm living as though it's such an interesting, it's like a game. It's like a game I'm playing with myself almost.
It is.
But I don't want to see, like, I don't need to know.
I don't need to know.
I don't know.
That's fascinating.
That feels like a response.
On like a deal to deal basis though. You know what's coming in. Yeah. So you have enough of a mind to be like, I'm fine.
Oh yeah.
Like I can buy coffee every day. I'm fine. Yeah.
Yes.
Which is like, when I did this exercise of like, how much do I actually want to make? Because you get into this career and you're like, I just want to make as much money as possible.
Look at that.
Right? And then that's just an open-ended kind of goal. That's kind of crazy. So I had to write it down. And when I wrote down what I like, what I spend money on every day and was really ambitious with that, it was so attainable. It was insane. Like, I was like, I just want to get a coffee every day without guilt. I want to buy lunch every day without guilt. I want to live in a nice neighborhood, be able to pay rent or a mortgage there. And then I want to be able to travel.
Know the Z.
And I don't even travel that much. So I was like, this is pretty ambitious and it is super attainable.
Ambitious.
Yeah.
And that exercise, I think, is just so not done with us that I really would push a lot of creators to do that exercise.
100%.
Okay, we're gonna stop there. I'm gonna push on the creators. That's what I mean by like the number 2s turn into drill instructors. It's like, I'm gonna kick your ass a little bit for not having a goal. Or most creators, not you though, Emma, you're great. Doesn't it though? Oh my gosh, this is like really painful. Like it's terrifying. Terrifying. This feels terrifying to me. Like anxiety, anxiety, anxiety. Okay, let me do a little of this and let me do a little of this. Okay, let me do a little of this and a little of this. All right, how are you guys doing? Wow, doesn't that stress you out? It stresses me out. It stresses me out. We're all gonna need to go on a walk later. Want to go on a walk together, guys? Let's go on a walk. Let's go on a walk because I'm so stressed out for her. Oh, okay. Oof. Ooh, she's not concerned with the treasure pile. I know, isn't this super weird? Abby, are you feeling how weird that is? Like it's weird to me, you know? Hey, hi, yo, 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 yo. This is still getting me, Arrow. Like what in the observer? Hell damn. Outsourcing your demons. What could go wrong? I know you're feeling this too, right? This is terrifying. I feel like I get scared about demon NI stuff too. But I think as a double observer, I'm like, whoa, 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 careful, careful, because that one's scary. Not do NI. Yeah. Like, oh no, my credit card declined. Why did the tribe member I entrusted with me betray me? For real, huh? Anti-invest in self. It could be lost and she's fine. What the wow, anti-invest in self. Is that how you see the ones, Abby? That's such a good wording. Invest in self. Or is it just generalizing? That's such good wording. Invest in self. Yeah, is that kind of the 1 versus 4? It's like invest in self versus invest in the tribe. That is such a good wording. It's got to be. Comment below. That's pretty good. It's almost like she wants someone to take it away from her. I know, right? Because then she could just go back to like chill vibes. Yeah, maybe she's like panicked of what if she checks in the info and goes over and she develops an ego. That's kind of what it's sounding like to me. It feels like there is something there. Like she said, I don't want to get any ideas. And it's like, yeah. So if success to a 4 is we chill and we're all together and we're spending time, because spent time is the love language for the friend coin. And then if you have the friend coin at the top, that is your biggest love language. And if you started getting ideas like, what if I could get the yacht? What if I could get the, the jet or whatever? And now I'm doing this success thing that then takes me away from my version of success, which is what my dad has, which is you're an artist and you just get to hang out with your family and chill. That is really sad. That's terrifying to think like that, to go away from success. Just super interesting, Oof. Doesn't want change, refuses the responsibility. Yeah, possibly that. Because responsibility for that kind of money or that kind of lifestyle is anti-responsibility for family and connection and friend time, barbecue time, whatever that is. So yeah. 4 is giving it all away. Exactly. Therefore, what their main desire is that we get to spend all of our time together forever. I saw a quote where she was saying something like, a lot of people think they need to do things all by themselves. Oh my God, this one hurts. Ow. Oh, that one hurts so bad. But you don't need to think like that. There's always people around to support you. Oh, this one hurts. This one like physically hurts my chest. That is so accurate. Oh, I'm gonna need to cry about that one later. Don't need to do things by themselves. I feel so called out by that. That is so good. Yes, I really do. I really, really, really do I feel like I can't rely on anybody because even if I hire, like I've tried so many years to hire people for things, but a lot of times they won't necessarily do it better than I would do it. It would just take me 50 times longer. And so I'm like, okay, I'll just take 50 times longer and do it myself. But then you just feel overwhelmed, you feel alone, and you feel empty. That one is hitting. Gosh, yes. Abby says yes. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for that confirmation. Appreciate it. Still nice that she's fine with having just enough. Oh, it's beautiful. Like, can you imagine like getting everything that you could ever imagine and you're still like, oh, I had enough before I like I could go anywhere, I could travel anywhere, nothing is off limits for me. And I had enough before I got started. Like, could you imagine the amount of like peacefulness, sleep at night, growth mindset? Like, you would just be doing so good. Now, obviously, she's going to still be stressed with observer stress that her own brain will create for her, of course. But man, what a good attitude, period. Because I don't think that every number 4 has that attitude. A lot of times, what she was talking about, the jealousy, like a lot of times I will see that from the 4s where they'll deal with intense amount of jealousy, seeing themselves as less and feeling like the tribe is looking down on them. A lot of them will really struggle with that. So the fact that she's now where she is at and being grateful, oh gosh, yes, yes, yes. Also with the coach thing, it might be, let's see what we're saying there. I already have my own coach internally. Why would I ever rely on the tribe to be the coach? Tribe, I already have my own coach externally. Why would I ever rely on myself to be the coach? Yeah, that's the internal versus external drive, I think, that you're talking about. Yeah. And I see that even though you'll have somebody like the 2s are pretty interesting because they're very self-driven, but they still get their marching orders from the tribe. Notice how he was talking about getting the marching orders from how Casey Neistat does things. It is interesting seeing how much they won't have their own internal marching orders, like the drive, like myself says this is the order of things. They still kind of have to attach it to the tribe because there is that need for not leaving the tribe behind. So something like that, right? Let's see. Is success attached to 2, 3, and 1 and not 1 and 4? I think success is defined differently by each of the socials. And I would guess it has a lot to do with the love language. So for love languages, this is just my current hypothesis at this time. Love languages for the 1 is words of affirmation. Love language for the 2, I would guess it is acts of service, ? For the 3s, it seems to be gift giving, kind of like service oriented gift giving in that way. And 4s, it's quality time. And it's not that you don't have the others. We have all of them. I think we just sort of act on these things. We sort of act on that. And I definitely know with the 4s, it's going to feel like there is never enough. Never enough quality time. And I think that that's sort of, if you can get yourself into a position where you're acting out in a way where you are connected to that love language need, then you feel fulfilled. And if you're going in opposite direction with your job, your career, or your family life, where you're going against your social need, you'll be miserable. That's just what I see from people. This is just me, SE, picking up the TESE, picking up the tribe. They seem to be absolutely miserable if they're not fulfilling their social need, which is why I think it's critical that, of course, you don't want imbalance in your life. You don't want to imbalance your last function. You don't want to not be able to access and do your last animal. Those are pretty critical ones because that forces you through all the other parts. But I still would encourage people, embrace your social and head towards it lovingly, with a lot of self-forgiveness along the way, because that's what I had to do as well. Because it's like, what? I'm a 1. That sucks. It's like, just embrace it and head towards it. And voila, it gives a lot more positivity. So yeah. Let's see. With great money comes great power. With great power comes great responsibility. Man, for real. Let's see. What a weird way for her to say spend time with, though. Yeah. Like time value, time wealth. Yeah, time wealth. Interesting that the other guy who's a 2 sees time wealth as a thing as well. Quality time. Only helpful if the person doesn't want to do it alone. For real. I wonder how many people's bills she pays so they'll have more time to hang out with her. Oh my gosh, that is probably so real. Yeah, right? I'll pay your bills. Oh my gosh. I see my family members that are friend coin doing that. Oh my gosh, that is definitely what my family members do. That is so true for like my mom and my grandpa. They do that so that they can spend time. They're like, hey, let's go out to eat. I'll pay. It's on me. Gosh, wow, that's really interesting. I might do that with some people. Probably. The anxiety for me will come from when I lose everything again. If I didn't make it all on my own, then I'll be completely vulnerable if I lose all of it. That's how I feel too. I want the access to the pathway myself. I want the access to the building my own self. So I feel free that this is coming from myself. relying on others is terrifying for me because I'm like, what happens when they get bored and they're like, I'm going to go off and do whatever. And I'm stuck there with the lack of survival. So I feel that. I definitely feel that for sure. Let's see, the self tribe might coin. Let's see. It's like when you think you're below others, you feel like you owe them favors. Yes. If you feel like you're below others, you feel like you owe them favors. Interesting. Looking up. Yeah. Yep. Got to be able to make the system again from the ground up if it explodes. That's exactly it. And I've heard Gary Vee say that. And he says it, he like brags about like, I wish my whole company would explode because I already know how to make it from the ground up. And I'd love to be put out in the middle of, the desert and have to start all over again. And I'm like, I don't really want to do that. I don't like that, but I do feel like I do know how to make a system. I know how to make a system. So if I did attach myself to a different specialty, I could run that different specialty through my system. But it is difficult and fearful for me to like let go of an entire system because of how much work you've put into the system. But yes, it is definitely, that's stability. Yes, for sure. Systems. That's the stability. I can go live on an island. I can create this whole stability thing for my own self. For real. Let's go through some of these notes and then I'm going to head to just the membership and you guys can ask me any personal questions there. So start storing up some personal questions or storing up some questions about Emma and I will, I'll answer those after the fact, but let's run through these really quick and then I'll go over to the membership. Okay. Artist versus commercializing. This is definitely just generalizing versus specializing, generalizing. And yeah, and the guy speaking sounds more like a 2. Let's see, others' wealth, and I'm just the child of an artist. See that like diminishing of self? See that like putting self down? That's the friend coin of seeing self on the spectrum. Doesn't mean that it's accurate, by the way, because the other people might have been like, oh my gosh, Emma, she's so amazing. But she is creating a social hierarchy for herself. Her brain is doing that. And she's putting herself below the wealthy kids above me, right? That's natural. It's just a brain wiring thing. It's not necessarily accurate in reality. I was jealous. Again, this is what a lot of the 4s go through is this, I'm below and therefore I'm jealous. And I see myself as less, as if some kids have something that she doesn't naturally, right? I was not up to speed with the other kids. The other kids were faster and better than me. I was fortunate that I didn't see that though, because I had my family that was connected, probably is what she was saying there. Also, how was I supposed to know that there was other pathways? That was an observer comment. Let's see. I just turned on, obviously. Oops. Oh yeah. The AdSense. I just accidental, like, oops, I just accidentally made money. There wasn't any goal there. We can talk about that in a second when we get down to what the guy was saying about like creating a ahead of time goal. Maybe I'll make 200. We'll see. I didn't take brand deals. Why? That should be a part of your systematizing. If this is a whole money-making system where you are the one responsible for the entire machine, why don't you have brand deals in your spectrum there? Even if you don't do it, why isn't it like, oh, that's 10th on my list of 15? Why don't you have that there? I was against it because that is something that is money-oriented and possibly flex-oriented instead of authentic to the craft or the artistry, right? That's something also you're going to see from the specialists. Financial freedom, but it didn't improve my life. So you're seeing her perspective. I had all the things I needed. I had enough. Beautiful. But money only makes you happy to a point because her version of success is not money. It's quality time. I don't have any way or any drive purpose for this. So I'm not even expecting it. When the money came in, it was like, what? Whoops. So Demon and also there's no end purpose that she's trying to achieve. Dad is the one that lives the fulfilled life. He's just an artist and he has time to spend with his kids. Stressful. Oh, that's coming from me. I had no idea what's. I'm like, I was the one getting stressed. All caps, stressful. I don't want to know. I want to keep that known information missing. Gosh, that's stressful. If I need anything, I don't want to need anything. I don't need anything else. I don't need all the flexi stuff. I don't want the money to give me ideas. That part just blew my mind. I don't even want to get ideas about the Z, the A to Z that the generalists are responsible for. I don't even want ideas about that end. And then the number 2 jumps in and he's like, have a goal. That's what generalizing is. You're creating an end goal and then you're working your way to achieve that end goal. That's how you play the systematized game, is you create these goals, and you can adjust the goal and you can make new goals depending on your success in creating the system. But the point of creating that end goal is so you know what outcome you're trying to achieve. Do you want to make 5,000 a month? Do you want to make 10,000 a month? Do you want to make more than that? Do you want to make 30,000 a month? What's your end goal? And that end goal then tells you how much is even possible in this arena. How much is even possible to make? What are the other businesses that make money? How much money do they make? What are their numbers? How much time do they spend? Is that kind of life the work-life balance that you are going to want? Okay, yeah, I'm going to need to back up because I would have to just die to this job in order to make 30,000. Okay, is 5,000 a month worth it? No, I need to pay for these kinds of bills. I need to be able to pay for kids. Okay, maybe it's closer to 10,000. And that now gives you the marching orders. That gives you the Z. And now you're just obsessively working on systems to attempt to make it to that end goal. Emma probably has way more than that, but she's not staring at the end goal. So you have to really be careful about looking at somebody's results, because it's not about their results, is it? It's not about their results. It is 100% about their view of the goals and what they're trying to achieve and how they're trying to achieve it, and what success is to them. You have to look at that, not their actual goals, because she might have more than Samir and Colin, but she's not trying to create that Z, that end destination, right? Yes. Let's see. Abby says, I don't know that generalize is outcome focused. I think the goal thing is flex. I don't feel that as much as it has to be open to pursue new opportunities, not really an end goal, but an open wide view. I would ask you though, do you think about money in the same way? That's kind of what I was seeing there. Putting self down, reducing the target on my back. Okay. Oh yeah, sure. I don't know how to make one yet, but would feel so fulfilled when I get there. Could this just be that, I don't know, maybe it's an OI thing as well. There might be some OI there. I do see that it is still outcome dependent. Yeah, Abby, I would ask you what your goal is as a 2. Yeah. I think just enough to get get to the free space. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. I think maybe it'd be good to ask then let me ask this to everybody, Abby, you too, but let me ask this. What, if you really sat there and you're really, really honest with yourselves, what is your version of success? It might be hard for, like, I know I would have a hard time admitting, the monetary thing, because I mean, you have to just give yourself grace where you're like, look, I want the monetary success so that I can then go as a 1. I have it backwards so that I can then go spend time with family, so that I can then go travel, so that I can then go work on hobbies. Those kinds of things will give me the peace of mind that the overhead stuff is taken care of, so that I can then go be free to be the kid. In my mind, that's how it feels to me, is like, oh, I now get to give my FI what it wants, So yeah. Sasha says, what's the difference between OI, planning, and generalize? For me, they're very connected. So, I don't know. Is it different? Is it different with the NEs? There's still systematizing going on though. I still see the NEs use their SI. Oh, is it daily planning? I have my daily plan this way. I have my specific day-to-day systematizing of things in the SI connected to that. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because I think the way I'm talking about it is NI. Okay, that could be a possibility. You guys can let me know, those of you that have any. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if generalizing is connected to N, and that for the NEs it's NE and for the NIs it's NI. Because that sounds like NE. Waking up excited to pursue new projects sounds amazing. How interesting. And then you would do the systematizing with SI. Very fascinating. All right, I'm going to add Emma back to the stage, and I'm going to show you the official type that I got, and then I will go meet you guys in the membership later. So I got double feminine SEFI, consume, sleep, play, number 4. Oh, let me be like, is it this way? It is this way. Here's her type. That's for you, Jose. What is it? Oh my gosh. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, you both have Save Your NE. So this would be something to explore, because I don't quite... Ooh, I love this. Leaving my community better than I found it. That's my version of success. I very much feel that. Yeah. Big time. That feels like leaving a mark, leaving a legacy. And yes, I very much feel that. For sure, for sure. Leaving the community better than I found it, which is why I think as a one, I'll be willing to leave behind some people so that I can come around and give to the masses. So yeah, interesting. For real. For real, for real, for real. Doing what I value. Yeah, for sure. Allowed to do the FI, huh? Or the quote unquote FI. Let's see. That would be a nice accomplishment. Yeah. Slight difference for 1 and 2 might be for vision, 2 end goal. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Need financial stability so that I'm no longer a burden to my family and then I can do what I want. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. I very much burden. That word burden is a really big deal to me. I have a very, very like an inappropriate, I would say, an inappropriate relationship with being a burden. Like it's like, hey, you need to let yourself be a little bit of a burden because that's how you connect to other people. That's how you know, if others can jump in and help you and love on you, that connection matters. So let that be the case. Yeah, that I have a very weird relationship with burden, but that is exactly how I feel. I don't want to be a burden to my family, even if they want me to be a burden to them. Nope, I don't want to be a burden. I have to be able to give back. Yes, 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 yes. Intensely, 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 intensely. Like, nope, 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 nope. I don't want you to take care of me monetarily, with time, with nothing. I got to be 1000% self-sustaining so I can come back around and give to my family. And it's like sometimes you need some freaking help. Like what the hell? What the heck? What the heck? As a self-type specialist, my version of success involves being the best at my craft. Yes, but not necessarily being the guy at the top. Yes, yeah. Being the best, but not having the yes, 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 yes. Yes, that makes sense. That makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Oh, I don't have to be able to give back, but I want to. Right. Right, right, right. True. True. Good, good, good. Okay, good. All right. I'm going to end the YouTube version here. And then I'm going to go into the membership and you guys can feel free to ask all the questions. Ask all the questions. I'm going to end YouTube. Bye. It's been lovely. We love you. We love you, YouTube. Okay. 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 Okay.